Now, Jeffrey, a moment ago we were talking about hip joints, so I can show you this in terms of a very normal contraction of hip joints. As people get older, even though like you have a very good body, you're in good shape, yet there's a typical kind of, let's say, attrition of the muscle system that occurs as most people get older. Now, you could have avoided what I think that I'm about to find. Now, if we just put the leg up, and if I push this leg here, I find an interesting thing. It just stops and comes right back. Now, there's a muscle that's holding it. It's called the gluteus medius. And I hate to tell you this, but if this were totally free and in your voluntary control, that knee, rather than pushing back, would drop right down here, 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
in other words, my muscle is contracted.
your muscle is contracted and you don't have the voluntary ability to release it.
I didn't even know it was contracted.
Well, you didn't know, but there, look. Now, can you relax it? Relax it down. See if you can just relax. Don't push it.
Yeah,
just relax it.
sort of.
See, it just won't let go.
Yeah.
Now, that's a lack of voluntary control. It's typical. This happens to everyone's body as they get older, at least most people's bodies, unless they know some of these secrets. Now, what could you do? Well, we want to create sensory information that goes to the voluntary part of the brain. Now, I want you to do this. I want you to contract this muscle, which is the gluteus medius, very strongly, and just push it.
Push against your
Push
hand.
your knee to the left against my hand. Okay, now hold it right there. That's enough. Now, this is your game from this point on. Right now, you're making a voluntary movement using the voluntary cortex to do this. Now, slowly yield your contraction just a little bit so the knee drifts inward and downward about 3 inches. A little bit farther, another inch. Now stop. Now, just so there's more variety in the feedback signal, come back 1 inch to the left. Now hold it there, very rigid. Now relax it just enough that it creeps downward another 3 inches.
Now, I really am feeling that muscle. And
Oh, yes, indeed.
I
And
think for the first time.
You're going to start feeling the soreness. Actually, that muscle's a bit fatigued and sore. 35% contraction all times, a lot. Push back to the left 1 inch. Okay. Now, you're already past where you were. You're in new territory. Now, slowly release it, and you're going to come down another 3 inches. Look. What's happening? Stop. Come back 1 inch. Well, do you think it'll go another 3 inches?
Yeah.
Try it.
All right.
Look. Now, of course, you're doing this. I'm not doing it. I'm just giving you a weight to play with, so it's a strong. Now, come back up.
It's a comfortable feeling to feel that
There's no
muscle
pain at all.
relax.
There's no pain at all. Look.
Yeah.
This is purely brain work. See, rather than pulling on muscles, now pull it back up and look where you're headed.
So I'm giving myself, it's like I'm reawakening part of my brain.
You're creating your own feedback, and you're creating sensory feedback that immediately goes into the motor
By pushing
neurons.
sort of back and
As
forth.
soon as you go back and forth, it varies the signal. Now come down one more time, and lo and behold, look where you are. You've touched. Now, try to lift one more time, very strongly. Now suddenly drop it. Okay. Now, as long as you're there, get cocky about it. Act like you belong there by pressing your left leg down on the right leg. Now press it down hard, so hard that I can't even lift it. Fight. You say, you got me down here, Hanna. Now I'm not going to let you get me up.
That's
now,
another muscle,
tight
isn't it?
Tight it. Now you're using another muscle. Now you're getting entirely different information in the brain that you belong there. Now relax. Now, look. Now, here, I'll just hold this. Look. Now, just relax and watch what happens. I'm holding the pelvis, so we know it's not the pelvis thing. Now here, confirm that a little bit more. Lift up a little bit. Lift up a little bit, one more time.
On the pelvis?
No, on the knee.
Oh.
And now let it come down one more time. Now press down one more time downward. Hold it. Downward. Right. Hold it tight against the right leg. That's it. Now relax. Okay. So there you have it.
I feels marvelous. It's as if some flowering is taking place in my brain right now.
Well, it is. The brain grew, as it were. You see, that kind of hip joint release, if you wanted to do this, you see, it's the same thing. You can do that, but you could do something interesting like this. Look. Why not?
And you're 60 years old, aren't you, Thomas?
I'm 60 years of age, and everyone should be able to do that at 60.
Thomas
You
Hanna,
too.
it's a pleasure being with you, a man who walks his talk. Thanks so much for being with me.
This has been a pleasure.
And thank you so much for being with us.